Everybody makes mistakes, so keep dabbing. We love you. Don't say it again, okay? In a situation like that, it should have never been on Snapchat. Only the artists, especially since they're K-pop artists, if they wanted something like that out in the public, they would have put that on social media themselves. Yugyeom is not fat. He was underage drinking. A lot of people underage drink. I never did, but a lot of people do. And some people do worse things than that. Mark has a tattoo. So what? He's old enough to make his own decisions. And poor BAMBAM. With his situation, you have to consider his surroundings. I mean, come on. They were listening to Trick Daddy, Tupac, Nicki Minaj, Wiz Khalifa, and Notorious B.I.G. And I'm pretty sure the people around him were using the N-word. Therefore, he felt comfortable enough to say it. I genuinely think that if he knew the history behind that word and the impact that the word still has on people, he would have never said it. He's a good kid who loves his fans. I'm not taking up for the fact that he said it. It's just that he is a foreigner and look at his surroundings. Now, the first time I ever heard an Asian person say the N-word, I was in a bubble tea spot and they were listening to hip-hop music. It was this group of teenagers. Now, this was years ago, but after I heard it and me and my friends, we looked at them and then they looked at each other and just smiled and continued talking like they were just the coolest kids on the block. I mean, it wasn't a direct threat to me. I didn't take it as racial, but obviously they knew what they were saying, you know? I'm not taking up for anybody, but just about every American has said that word. It still doesn't make it okay. I'm just stating fact. And I'm actually more disappointed in the fans on both sides. Don't send BAMBAM death threats because he made a mistake. Now, I'm from the South. I know what real racism looks like. I have dealt with it multiple times. Just educate him on the effects that that word has. Come on now, we all know BAMBAM is not racist. He was just a product of his surroundings and it got caught on camera. Now I know that GOT7 is a part of the music industry and also that some of the K-pop artists do work with black producers. So you kind of do have to question, like, I know some of them had to know what the word meant and I know that after this, he will never say that word again. But back to my disappointment in the fans. Some of them were belittling the people who were offended by what happened. You don't know what those people could have been feeling at that moment because they could have just experienced racism from somebody who's a real racist. I know when I have to deal with that and then when somebody else come behind them, it depends on the situation, but most likely I will take my anger out on that person. Now, I'm not saying it's right, but still, people deal with racism every day. Now, I still love GOT7, but don't belittle somebody else's feelings and opinions just because this is your oppa. It's just like if somebody were to say a racial slur against you, you would feel some type of way, right? But just correct BAMBAM and educate him on the situation. Okay, I read some comments and they were like, the N-word is like any other curse word. No, it's not. Now, I do understand both sides of how that word worked, but I just didn't like the fact that people were belittling other people. Like, oh, it doesn't matter. It does. And some other people had the audacity to say that people were being dramatic. I mean, some of the comments were over the top, but you have to consider that a word that has oppressed people and the word that's still being used to oppress people, no matter if it's the N-word or any other derogatory word, just because you don't give a damn about a word or about the problem, then don't go attacking other people. Like other people were saying, Mexico loves you, China still love you, come back here, come back here. Even in like other states in America. It's like, so the people who feel some type of way, I know they still got love for GOT7. And it's just messed up for you not to even try to understand how someone else is feeling. All BAMBAM has to do is apologize. Simple as that. Because a lot of people are already over it, but I'm still seeing constant comments about negative things. BAMBAM will be fine. And I know all of the same people who are attacking these people for having these thoughts and opinions on this situation will be the same people who would attack GOT7 if they were to get into a relationship, because these guys didn't choose them to be in a relationship with. With all this said and done, I really want GOT7 to come back to Atlanta for a fan meet, because myself and a lot of other girls were talking about how we totally failed with our bias during the high touch. So I have to redeem myself, and I know other people who didn't get a chance to go, they might be able to get a chance next time. So I'm really hoping that GOT7 comes back to Atlanta, Georgia. hopefully by the end of this year, because I missed them already, or like at the beginning of next year. I'm still hoping for the end of this year. So if you also want them to come back to Atlanta, let's sign a petition and get ready to see GOT7 again. And check in the description for a better video that was made years ago by Courtney and Jasmine to have a better understanding of a similar situation and the use of the N-word. And for the non-black people out there who actually have empathy and compassion for another's cause, then thank you for being human. Thank you for being someone who does not follow the crowd and who's not just a sheep following the herd of negativity. We're all fans of GOT7. We're all GOT7. So let's just be happy. We already have enough shit to deal with. We love you, GOT7. And BAMBAM, you will be alright. I know it's a mistake that he will never make again. That so many of you out there constantly use that word. And sometimes I get offended and sometimes I don't. But being a person who actually lives in the South and have to deal with racism, or just a person living in America in general, no matter what race you are, you shouldn't be attacking other people just because it's not you this time. And for those other people attacking other black people, just because they have a different skin tone or a lighter skin tone, it doesn't matter. They're still black. Get over it. Black people come from the lightest light to the darkest dark, if you haven't noticed yet. I even know black people who are born with red hair or blonde hair. I know black people who are born with green eyes and blue eyes, hazel eyes, gray eyes. Black people are very diverse. So stop all of that nonsense. It's stupid. Alright guys, until next time. Bye.